Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right, next question here from Richie N of the School Anabolic Bodybuilding Members Community. If you want to join, the link is in the video description below. You can get your questions answered on the Q&A like Richie here. Richie asks, do oral compounds have a place in an off-season growth phase? And if so, how should they be used responsibly? I used to run a lot of orals when I was younger. I think everybody goes through their oral fascination phase. Orals definitely are potent. They have an immediate noticeable effect when you use them. They also tend to have the most complex and pronounced side effects out of all the compounds, maybe outside of Tren. I don't know, or DHB. Here's the thing with orals. The way I look at orals, there are some things that certain orals do uniquely well that you just cannot replicate with another compound. For example, Winstrol on contest prep. There's just nothing that gets you as hard and dried out as Winstrol. But man, it is harsh. It makes your joints feel like shit. You smash your lipids. You might shed all of your hair off the top of your head. So I limit the use to a very distinct window of a couple weeks when I want to leverage a certain look. Anadrol would be the off-season equivalent. Anadrol, there is nothing that quite replicates the strength and central nervous system drive that you get from Anadrol. Anadrol, especially if you are a strength or athlete like a strongman guy or a power lifter, there's really nothing that can replace Anadrol. But after you run Anadrol for a period of time, usually about 3 to 4 weeks, what you'll start to notice is you can't eat, your appetite gets smashed, even if you don't have those side effects, not everybody gets the smash appetite. To me, it fucks my stomach up after about 2 weeks of being on it. The red blood cell count, hemoglobin, and hematocrit can go through the roof. And even if you don't get that, on top of that, usually it smashes your fucking lipids. So I do like some Anadrol. I love me some A-bombs. In the past, I used to run them quite a bit when I was younger. I would say if I were to run them in an off-season setting, I'm going to limit it to the last 3 to 4 weeks of a push. I do get very concerned about the negative impact that it has on lipids. That's really my primary concern with running any extended amount of orals. Anymore, my go-to oral is just Anavar. I find I tolerate Anavar fairly well if I'm going to run an oral. Anavar doesn't seem to have all the negative side effects outside of maybe smashing HDL. It will aggressively lower HDL, so that is something to be aware of. It doesn't smash my appetite. But even then, I limit it to like a 4-week run of it, something like that. I wouldn't run it for more than 4 weeks. So Anavar is an option in an off season. D-ball does some unique things with the methyl estradiol conversion. If you're somebody who's a low estrogen converter like the bro we talked about earlier, D-ball might be the best thing since sliced bread for you. For 9 out of 10 people, it's not. It's going to make things worse. There's a bunch of other oral compounds we could mention, but I think most guys that have been at this for a long time finally get to a point where they're just like, yeah, I'm done with the orals. I've been through that phase. I've had that. I'm not going to do that anymore just because of the negative effects that it has on the GI alone. I've heard of many guys end up with bleeding ulcers and things like that from overdoing the orals, the increase in blood pressure, the acute effect of them. After a while, you just kind of get to a point where you just feel yucky when you're on them. You just feel sick. You feel gross. And then you get away from running them. So at this point, for me, probably the only thing I would have in my toolbox as an older bodybuilder is probably some Anavar and some maybe Winstrol at the end of contest prep. You could convince me maybe on some spot duty, like on a leg day or something, maybe I would take an A-bomb just for the fuck of it, just for the fun of it. But really, I think you want to limit your exposure to oral steroids because they have all the negative side effects. They are, I think, a lot of the long-term health issues that guys end up with are probably from overdoing orals to a certain degree or overdoing harsher compounds. I would say you would want to spend the majority of your time in the off season running well-tolerated compounds that are going to allow you to eat a bunch of food so you can get big, because if your appetite's crushed, You can't eat, you're not going to grow if you can't eat. And that's the primary motivator, the primary tool that we're using in the off season to grow is hard training. If you feel like shit and you can't train hard, if you can't eat, you're not going to have the substrate for facilitating growth. So I just would say limit them to a very specific window. If you're an older guy, probably stay away from them completely. And if you were going to run it as an older guy, I'd probably just stick with Anavar in a very short window, like 4 to 5 weeks. I do like Anavar for the pumps and the strength. I'd say it's not on the same level as Anadrol as far as strength motivation, but I get 75-80% of what I think Anadrol gives me without all the nasty side effects that I get from Anadrol. So it's good enough for an old dude. But yeah, for the most part, orals, if you're a non-competitive guy, limit them. Small runs. You don't want to be on them throughout the year. 4 to 6 week window. That's it. Get in, get out. No more than that. And if I were going to run it in the off season, it would be at the end of a push phase when I need just a little more gas to get over the top.